Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, wow, of all the places you expect to get sick, it's definitely not getting it sick from your luxury cruise ship cabin. Especially the high-end cruise ship cabins. Well, according to the CDC, that's just what happened, as numerous cases of Legionnaire's disease are linked to those private balcony hot tubs. Yikes. That's right. Legionnaire's disease can mostly affect men, and usually those over the age of 63, so up around my age. Well, 2 cruise ships have been linked, although they haven't come out and said which cruise ships. We also know 2 cruise ships since 2022 to 2024 reported outbreaks of Legionnaire's disease. One was the Norwegian Prima, and one was the Celebrity Ascent, both of which have cabins with hot tubs and in their suites, private hot tubs on their balconies, plus spas, etc. Well, a bunch of cases were confirmed. On ship, we'll call it Ship A, or ship number 1, they tested 10 hot tubs, private hot tubs, and Legionnaire's disease was found in 6 of them. After numerous passengers came down ill, none of them have passed away, but most of them were hospitalized because of the disease. Also, again, being older, you're more susceptible to it, and it's a respiratory disease, right? Well, cruise ship number B, or cruise ship number 2, had every single hot tub they tested in their private suites had traces of Legionnaire's disease. In both cases, on both cruise ships, dangerously high in some of those tests. While a couple of them were mild, some of them were dangerously high. Now, you might think, well, wow, you would think that, the hot tubs would be less used on the balcony. Like, I've stayed in a couple of suites that had hot tubs before and never once stepped foot in the hot tub on my entire cruise. But you'll see people in the hot tubs on the pool deck all the time. Well, that's true, except those hot tubs on the pool deck have much more stringent cleaning processes, where they are really disinfected with heavy cleaning materials just to prevent this kind of outbreak from happening, from sitting water, etc. When the bubbles aren't going, you don't want anything to accumulate in there, where people's hot tubs tends to be just kind of wiped down, mostly sprayed and then wiped down with normal cleaning. Well, that's going to change because the CDC has now recommended new guidelines for private balcony hot tubs and spa hot tubs as well, which will bring more cleaning and hopefully cause way less problems like Legionnaire's disease. I mean, I go on a luxury cruise and I splurge on a balcony hot tub cabin. You know how much those cabins can cost. You're talking into the $30,000, $40,000 range often for a 7-day cruise. And you come down with Legionnaire's disease because it's not cleaned as stringently as the main hot tubs are. That's definitely not a good situation. So keep that in mind if you're going. Make sure, maybe even bring, if you're going to go, maybe bring your own disinfectant and disinfect your hot tub, and don't rely necessarily on your cabin steward to do it. Although I'm quite sure now that the cruise lines know this, that they will be looking into it and making new changes to make sure, hopefully, this doesn't keep happening in the future. Also, we do have some good news. Remember New Caledonia and its strife that was going on there because of some changes to the electoral process that was going on there that would basically eliminate voting for a lot of the people there to be representative, and there was riots, etc. All that seems to now have calmed down and things are going a lot smoother. And the cruise lines have now reached an agreement with the tourism industry and the tourism bureau there, the docks, the police authority, etc. The riots have calmed way down, and the first cruise ship to show up there was actually a expedition cruise ship with about 50 passengers on it. But it went in and was greeted with a fanfare, if you will, and people were happy to see it with no incidences. Now, coming up in the near future, we have the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line and Carnival. Two of its brand cruise ships will show up in November, and then Holland America, which sparks a new return to that area. Hopefully things go smooth, because they desperately need the cruise ship business. Regent Seven Seas alone, a small luxury cruise line with not a ton of passengers on it, brought to one port over $25 million worth of business, that one cruise ship with a very few passengers. Now imagine a Royal Caribbean ship showing up, one of the larger ships. It will make all the difference in the world to some of the folks there. Now we also have some record-breaking numbers coming from some cruise ports. But before I get there, let me quickly just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the good stories where business is booming and things are going well, to the not so good stories like catching Legionnaire's disease in your luxury cruise ship balcony hot tub. How crazy is that? I'll try and keep you as informed as possible, let you know of any changes to cruise line itineraries, storm warnings, etc. for you to basically make your next trip as safe and as great as absolutely possible. I hope you'll join us. Doesn't cost anything, but I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about some Victoria, BC and Vancouver, BC. Both had record numbers again this year of passengers, sparking, shall we say, Vancouver really did well. It had over 1.32 million people docked in Vancouver or left from Vancouver cruise port this year. Victoria had well over 1 million people stop in that area, which sparks huge profits and a lot of expansion. The hotels are busy. The boardwalks in Vancouver. Vancouver's a great cruise port to just get out and walk around in, or spend a couple days before or after your cruise. Gorgeous city, lots to do. There's skiing less than an hour away. There's all kind of nature hikes. They have Stanley Park right nearby. The boardwalk right there with all kinds of food for foodies, and a bar, a light nightlife. It's a great place to go, and I'm glad to see it's back after the slow restart here in Canada from the pandemic. It was only 2 years ago, folks, that cruise ships still only were going at about 40% capacity. That's certainly not the case now. I kind of miss those days, to be honest, but I'm glad to see business is back and booming in Canada finally once again. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.